I'm constantly just looking to make things that I'm not necessarily seeing, but I'm like envision them in my head and I'm like, let me figure out how to make them, which has been very fun. I love creating the Spicy Dan world and the Spicy Dan feeling and everything that goes into it beyond just the jewelry. And I think that is what has allowed it to translate to what it is today.
Welcome back to The Materialist. I am Marc Bridge, the founder and CEO of At Present, Matchmaker to Extraordinary Jewelry, and I am your host. Today we have the fun of going into the world of jewelry with one of the most fun and creative entrepreneurs in the jewelry world at the moment, Danielle Meyer, the proprietress of Spicy Dan. Hello, Danielle.
Hello, thank you for that fun intro.
Is that true?
Happy to be here. I hope so. I think so.
Spicy Dan almost makes you smile by its name.
Yes.
What is the genesis of that?
Genesis of that is honestly my Instagram name. I'm from the era when people's Facebook and Instagram names were supposed to be, not supposed to be, but it was a trend to be fun puns on people's names.
This is like AIM speak.
Yeah, like it was like AIM speak. It was like 2015, 2014, like that era, that time in the world. And my Instagram name forever was Spicy Dan Noodles. And it still is. And when I was starting this brand, a guy in Michigan who's now in college had the name Spicy Dan, which I really wanted. And we've since become Instagram friends. And I need to give him an offer to acquire that handle for the brand. So we could become not Shop Spicy Dan, but just Spicy Dan. But anyway, when I was starting this, I needed a name. And so I was like, let's just make it easy. My Instagram name is this. It was at that point not a fully fledged business. It was just a fun little side project. So I was like, great, I'm Spicy Dan Noodles. This is Shop Spicy Dan. It's all connected. It's all one. And it's been fun to grow with and make branding on. And it really, I feel like, does translate well to the jewelry, to the brand itself. It's almost become a big part of it. That's the name.
And is it now a character on its own, or are you still it?
I think both. I don't know if that makes sense, but I think both. Like, it definitely is a character on its own, but I feel like I am so closely attached that people also, I feel like, are like, you are Spicy Dan. So I would say a combo.
And how did you get to jewelry?
I had always made jewelry for fun as a hobby since I was little, and college would make stuff with my friends. Post-college, during COVID, I was unemployed. I was making a ton of jewelry. I was making kits for my friends to make jewelry and selling them because I just got laid off and was studying for the GMAT and needed a hobby because everyone needed a hobby. And just had always done it. I would say even years before the brand started, people would reach out and be like, can you make a gift for my mom? She's a doctor and she's a Sagittarius and she likes gold. And I'd be like, sure. I want to make these one-off side projects for friends and friends of friends that people would commission. And then a friend had just launched an app. She's a makeup artist. Her handle is Makeup by Kellyanne. She's super talented, but she had just launched a makeup educating app. I went to her launch party. I was so impressed, and I was at that point so miserable in the work that I was doing. I was like, I can make a website. I should be doing something. This is a side project that I'm already doing, but let me just put a little bit more time and effort into it, again, with no plans of scaling it into a real brand or business or design thing. And shortly after that, my dad ended up passing away. And at that point, I was like, okay, I'm done doing my job that I already hate. I'm just going to zone out and make jewelry all day and post it on this website. And long story, not super short, but 2 years later, people started buying it after all of that 2 years of just posting it and not really doing anything with it. People started to come, and that was really fun to see, and then have since been growing on that initial traction.
And what was the break? Why did it capture the zeitgeist?
So an influencer wore it in a video talking about Sweet Green, getting rid of their arugula. Her name is Hannah Chody. She's the best. And all of the captions on this video were like, hey, but where's your necklace from? And
yeah, the arugula. Okay, let's talk about what really matters here.
Correct. She was wearing like a rainbow necklace. All of the comments were like, where's your necklace from though? And I think we sold like 40 pieces in 48 hours after selling maybe 4 to 10 a month. Usually closer to 4 for the 2 years prior.
And then you go, oh wait, this could be something.
Yeah, and then from there I was capitalizing on that. She was super nice, and I gave her all the data, and her and I actually became friends after that, which was a really lovely scenario. Ended up gifting to a few other people, a few other fairly large influencers, capitalizing on that moment, who just happened to like the jewelry and post it and wear it that summer. And kind of just had been organically growing it from there. Granted, like obviously it was a lot of grinding and still is, but that's generally how that initial takeoff happened.
But it's worked. And a lot of people do the first 3 steps and it never goes any further than that. Sometimes people get lucky, and luck is what it is, but you have built on it and it has become self-sustaining. It has grown in a compounding way.
Yeah.
Why? How?
I think it was a decent amount of luck, as you said. Like, that's not discounting that. I think it was lucky that video went viral. It was lucky that all of the creators that I subsequently gifted to happened to not only accept it, but like it and actually wear it and tag me, which has been obviously really nice. I think other than that, it's been, one, we've been totally self-funded. So it's been a grind of, okay, if I'm making this jewelry, we've got to sell it one way or another. I need to make this money back so we can either keep making stuff or I can't just be sitting on this.
Don't make me go back to a real office.
Yeah, even before that, though, I'm like putting all my funds into this. I was like, okay, it has to go well because we don't really have any other option. And then I think a lot of it, too, probably as it related to the self-funded part, is it's been like organic growth and trying new things, or it's been almost like a very slow growing over time, where we went from making $4,000 a month to making $9,000 to making 12. Like, it's been a much slower grow than I feel like it probably appears on the internet for all of those things. So just like a lot of work, tenacity, I don't know, luck.
You need all of those things. And today you have built a pretty strong distribution channel. For those who don't know the product, tell us about the collection.
Yeah, so they're really colorful, fun, gemstone, hand-beaded necklaces. Everything is handmade in New York with all gemstones that we source mainly from India. We have some people that we work with in Mexico for like agate and a few other stones. And then all paired with chunky enamel gold-plated hardware, which can be customized, mix and match. And so it's become this like customizable, very recognizable, we call it like an everyday statement piece.
The thing that's amazing about it, and I think one of the reasons why it's resonated so well, is it makes sense. People know what to do with it, and it's just a little bit distinctive. Talk about the things that we look for on At Present as things that are one click over. And I feel like you have hit that bullseye. There's lots of people who do gemstone bead necklaces, and somehow yours are just better. They're a little bit more distinctive. They're a little bit more purposeful. They're a little bit more fun. And people want to wear them in a way that's different than most gemstone necklaces.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I feel like that's for a few reasons. I think from ours, like distinctly, I think we've done a really good job of making it accessible price-wise, accessible like even on our socials community-wise, making it where it's really a piece that kind of anyone can wear, but also attaching like a feeling and a personality to it. Like, it's supposed to be fun. You're supposed to wear it with everything. It's like you can wear it to the beach, you can wear it to work. Like, I have people that wear it to weddings and formal events, and like it can be styled anyway, and just keeping it like fun and whimsical. But it's a fun, like, it does evoke emotion, and I think we've done a good job through our branding and through our designs with that. And then from the actual jewelry design standpoint, I think one, we've picked really pretty, obviously, gemstones that people like. And then we've also always been iterating on making sure that they're super high quality. We have such a focus on customer service, learning from our customer service requests. When it comes to the carabiners themselves, we were getting feedback that people were losing the bars that screw in to connect the piece. So we found a new manufacturer to fix that problem, totally reworked all of our hardware, ended up increasing like the plated. So like for gold plated, it's called microns, and it's like the different basically layers of plating. And so we ended up like upping the microns so it would wouldn't tarnish. We added the stoppers so people wouldn't lose them. So I think in addition to that like emotional aspect of the brand, we've also focused super like a ton of energy on like always improving the product and having good customer service to go along with that. So I think the combo of it has really, to your point, like there's a lot of beaded necklaces out there. YU has allowed us to almost emerge as like a very distinct piece.
And people seem to know and love you. And I think as we are in New York and we've been hosting a number of people in and around the jewelry and style and fashion space, and everybody's like, yeah, I know Danielle. How important has that been in growing the brand?
I think it's definitely been important. I feel like generally I do not come from a traditional jewelry background, so I feel like I'm very just like excited and open and like grateful to have any connections and anyone that's willing or like has been willing to help me or champion the brand or even like share feedback. But I think that's definitely been part of it. I can't really speak to why. I don't really know. I'm glad that I guess people like me. But yeah, it's definitely been, I feel like, a big part of it. And to your point, is Spicy Dan me or is it the brand? Like it is both, which has been a fun part of it as well.
And then from the other things that you actually can't disentangle, do people like the brand? Do they like the product? Do they like you? And I guess the answer is probably all of the above.
I hope all of the above. I really do. But yeah.
How do you think about product design? You have a lot of seasonal. You have new things that you're rotating in. Different pieces have resonance or symbolic of places that are important to you or association with teams.
Yeah, I feel like I'm generally a very creative person. So I feel like I'm constantly just making new things, whether it be, to your point, like materials that I really identify with and love, or different lengths, different things to layer. I don't know. And then also listening to the feedback of seeing, okay, people love buying because of the customizable aspect. People love buying different colors for their colleges or their university, different colors for a professional sports team. For brands have reached out and been like, can you make us something that's branded our colors for us to give to some customers or include in an influencer gifting campaign? So
give to your team for a holiday gift
yeah.
that some local jeweler might have done.
Yes, but I feel like a combination. So like on one side, it's the customizable aspect that other people are asking for combos and resonating with. And then on my creative side, it's really just making things that I want that I'm not really seeing anywhere else. And then I think too, as it grows and as like the trend cycles emerge, I feel like I also really like to not be a part of that and be like, okay, if this is something that's trending now, like what's not trending, that's a little bit different of a departure from what's really cool right now that I would want to see, and challenging my creativity in that way to make something that's not everywhere as well.
With the production process that you've built, how quickly can something come into the world?
So something can come into the world pretty quickly. We just hired a wholesale manager who's focused on selling as we expand our reach, and she does not like that because
she doesn't like the speed with which new things can emerge.
Because people tend to buy in a schedule, and just because you can turn something around quickly, like I need a good runway for you to design something for me to then sell it to people. So that's been a learning curve. But yeah, I feel like because everything is handmade, it honestly, and locally in New York, it does make it super easy to turn things around quickly because we can text our person that beads everything. We have gemstone showrooms in New York that we buy from. We have a woman in India that I WhatsApp with all day and FaceTime when she shows me new things. So we can turn things around very fast, which is fun.
And to that wholesale question, how do you think about where you want to sell and where it should be in the world? You started with, I am selling this directly. Mm-hmm. You get to keep your arms fully around that. And then as you want to grow, it often makes sense to expand. When did that happen, and how did you think about that decision?
I think it started to happen because people were approaching us wanting to sell it, which is obviously a very fun problem.
Good proof of concept
to have, and like a good proof of concept. And then as we've grown, I feel like I care a lot about the brand and how the brand makes the customers feel and like our community feel. So it's really important for me that it's aligned in a store where it's like something fun, something elevated. Like, I feel like I look at the brand as it's a somewhat luxury product, but it's like an aspirational luxury product. We always will have pieces that are under $200, but we want to appeal to both someone who's maybe like younger or like this is a splurge for them, but at the same time someone who's, I'm going on vacation and I need fun jewelry, like where can I get something now, or where can I get something that like I'm just gonna be a vacation piece. I feel like it's important for us that like this, we can give the same experience and the same feeling to both customers, and I think that translates to where it's sold as well. Like we want it to be accessible. Like we're obviously at present, we're at or online at a Nordstrom, so anyone can really get it, but then we're also at some more higher end like brick and mortar stores where it's being placed alongside those higher priced items, so it could be like an attainable but also aspirational piece.
Who are those customers? And do you think about them when you're designing? You just go, all right, this is what I want, and so there's somebody in the world who's going to be excited about this.
I think both. I think I just design what I like, and then once I put out what I like and I'm getting feedback from people, then I iterate for the customer. Like I feel like it was like a customer and a community feedback that they wanted the ability to customize the pieces on the website. So we built that out on our website so customers can go in and build their own. But as far as our initial collections and designs, that's a little bit more of, I like this. But if people say, oh, we want more green options, then I'll look for more green stones as well.
I'm fascinated by the idea of customization because it's something that is often talked about. And I have felt like whenever you ask people, what do you want in jewelry? They always say, I want to customize something. And then you give them the opportunity to, and nobody actually does it. But they're actually doing it with you.
We find, so we have pre-made options as well as customizable. Like you could start from scratch. And people customize the pre-made options all day long. I think jewelry is jewelry is so special and symbolic to like most people. So I think being able to customize it is just that extra personal, like making it special. It's obviously given as a gift a lot. So like getting it from someone that you love and they customize it just for you just adds that extra like meaning behind it. I think our website, we also did a really good job of building it out so it's like fun and visual, and it's like a little computer game when you customize it. So I think that's probably part of the reason why they're actually doing it with us. And I think we really just emphasize, and the colors lend itself to that customization. But generally I feel like, yeah, jewelry is a very fun item to customize. Like I like customizing all of my jewelry too, so I get it.
Where did your style come from?
I have no idea. I feel like I've always had just an interest in fashion and style, and almost like beat to my own drum in that way, and the things that I gravitate towards. And I think,
what is 6-year-old Danielle wearing?
6-year-old Danielle was probably like playing dress up with a lot of like feather boas and athletic shorts with the feather boas with like play heels, honestly. And then like in high school, I was really into cowboy boots, but like I'm from New Jersey and that didn't really make sense. And I ended up going to school in Texas and moving to Texas. So that translated after the fact.
Is that cause or effect?
I don't really know.
Yeah.
But I feel like I've always been very decisive and had just like a unique style, which I guess has helped shape, honestly, how I design the pieces as well.
And I think is what people are looking for when they're buying things. I like the way that you look at the world. I want to, as a consumer, be able to choose from worldviews, but I'm not sure most people actually see the world with as much confidence as you do.
Thank you, I think.
It's intended as a compliment.
No, that's good to hear. I feel like I like building the world. I feel like I love creating the Spicy Dan world and the Spicy Dan like feeling, and just the website, like everything that goes into it beyond just the jewelry. And I think that is what has allowed it to translate to what it is today. I also, to your point, know that some people just go in and out, and I want it to be as seamless where people could get as involved and as entrenched in the brand as they want to be, which is also fun to see and get feedback from both types of customers as well.
How much time do you spend dreaming, near term, midterm, long term, versus I know you just dealt with bringing all of your distribution in-house and dealing with inventory and accounts payable and all of that stuff. How do you balance that?
I'm so bad and procrastinate anything that's not fun. So anything that like accounts payable, taxes, any of that stuff, I'm like, please only ping me about this when it's super urgent and I have nowhere to run and escape this. How much time do I spend dreaming? I feel like a lot of time. I feel like I'm like generally inland a lot and like, I'm much more of a creative person, which is good and bad. And then I'm fairly good at getting things done, whether it be like the right way to do it, who knows? So, like to your point of moving fulfillment in-house, is that a good decision? I don't really know yet. We'll find out. But I'm very good at just like making moves and figuring it out. But then I think I spend most of time just like in La Land dreaming and doing more of the creative stuff.
And what do you want this baby to be when it grows up?
I don't really know. I think it's been really fun to continue to grow it. What do I want it to be when it grows up? I definitely want it to be like a known, I like being.
Is it a jewelry brand?
It's definitely a jewelry brand. I think I want it to be a jewelry brand that's recognizable, that people do continue to have this like fun relationship, emotional connection with, and to create products that I think anybody like can resonate with something of the brand. So like we're launching earrings over the summer. I want to expand into like rings and bracelets and different product types, because up until now we've really just been necklaces. But I love to just continue to grow the brand and really create something. I want to be able to create something that like anyone who likes the brand, wants to be a part of it, can find something that they resonate with and connect with and love and want to wear.
And are there foundations or guardrails, something where you're scribbling either literally or figuratively and you're like, no, this doesn't fit within the universe?
No. I feel like no. I think I generally am just like take everything as it comes and have ideas and okay, is this gonna work or is it not? But I wouldn't say that we're really working within any guardrails. Like as distinct as the brand is, we don't have a super strict, they're like super well oiled like branding. It's not like a science. It's yeah, that fits, or like that doesn't. I can't really explain why. I don't know if that answers the question.
No, I just think it's such an interesting thing. Could you make engagement rings? Does that fit under the umbrella?
Engagement rings I don't think would fit under the umbrella. I like being in the like more costume, more like semi-fine, everyday jewelry space. I think it's way, when it gets into fine jewelry, people are doing such fun things with fine jewelry, but I don't necessarily think that like I am that person to be doing it. I think from the way that my brain works, I like that I can make something fun, and if it works, great. If it doesn't, great. And just like from the logistics side, like we don't have, like we are self-funded. We don't really have the capital or the ability to play around in the same way when you're working with gold and fine materials in the same way that we can with the gemstone beads and all of the plated hardware and all of our manufacturers. We're just able to have way more fun in this space. So as of now, at least, they don't really have any intention to move into something like, say, an engagement rings. But I will say, I would like to experiment with fine jewelry in some of our like beloved and like proven styles. If someone wants it in a fine forever option, like I would love to play around with that.
I can get an 18 karat gold pave bevo.
Yeah, like something like that we would play around with. No direct plans, but I don't think we're trying to do engagement rings or tennis bracelets or anything of that nature ever.
What has surprised you most about the jewelry business or about running your own company?
About the jewelry business, I don't know if I'm the best person to ask. Like, I do not come from a traditional like jewelry fashion background. I was working as like in a non-investing role in venture capital. I was working at American Express for a while. I was working in tech sales, and I feel super grateful that everyone that I've worked with has been super nice and welcoming. But I know that's not necessarily like everyone's experience in the fashion and jewelry world. So like I've had a lovely experience, but that maybe has been surprising. And then as far as running a business, that's a good question. I would say just that I can actually figure it out. Like, I don't think I'm like the smartest person in the world. So I'm like, if I could figure this out, I think it's less about like the ability to like plan and think in that way and just more about getting things done and just being able to like make decisions and have fun with it.
I think it's just so interesting that you have gotten things right that a lot of people have gotten wrong. And I'm not even sure that you appreciate just how unique that is. So I don't know. I just
Thanks.
I'm not sure that I have a question there other than to just call that out.
No, thank you. I do think I've been reflecting on this a little bit, and I think it is that I'm not necessarily afraid to just put something out there and see what happens. Like, I look at things that I made in like when I was first starting the website, even in like late 2022, early 2023, and I'm like, oh my, like either jewelry or like physical branding, and I like look at it now and I'm like, oh my God, that's horrendous. And I'm not even sure I like loved it at the time either, but I feel like I was just had no fears. Let me just put this out into the universe. Even if I'm not obsessed with this, maybe someone else will like it. And I think that just having that mindset of I'm just going to keep making things and get the feedback has allowed it to almost grow in that way, because I'm not like sitting waiting for the perfect moment. I'm, for better or for worse, just let me throw this out there and see what happens.
Do you feel like your sense of discernment has improved over time? Do you have a better sense now of whether something's going to work?
Yeah, I know if I love something, it's going to do awful. And I know every single time, whatever my favorite thing that I make, I know it's not going to sell. I'm going to sell 2 of them because that happens every single time.
Yes, well, this is the dirty secret of any retail business.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is that a thing?
Uh-huh.
I get so mad. I design a piece and I'm like, this is my favorite thing ever. And no one buys. I've had one hit that I'm like, this is my favorite, and it's sold really well. And everything else that's my favorite, no one buys. So I don't know.
That is as useful a signal as any. You know what to do with that when you've seen that pattern as many times.
I'm not going to not release the things that I like, so I don't really know.
There you go. You're not going to make 500 of them then when
No, that's fair.
you can make 5 of them and keep them for yourself.
I'm still probably learning that. I still get excited. I'm like, this one's going to be the piece. And then it never is. I've had one hit. So I'm hoping when we launch earrings, I have one that I made a ton of that I feel really good about. So, like, this better be the second time it happens, because I'm going to be really upset if it's not, and sitting on a lot of earrings if it's not.
You are on notice now that these are the earrings that you need to buy, because otherwise Danielle is going to be very disappointed in her own thing. Tell us about the rest of your material world. What is the most spicy Dan thing that you have that is not jewelry?
Like, physical thing?
Yeah.
I'm wearing overalls today. I wear a lot of overalls. I feel like that's generally pretty spicy Dan, and also Rob Roush, but I think it was spicy Dan before it was Rob Roush, if anyone watches Love Island or Traitors. What else is very spicy Dan? That's a great question. I feel like outside of, for jewelry, I feel like I'm pretty simple. I wear generally like the same things every day, and I'll swap a few fun things in, obviously always mine, a few other small brands as well. I feel like I'm pretty basic these days. I'll wear like jeans and like a t-shirt, wear a lot of like workout clothes. Like, I feel like I like fashion and I love getting dressed up, and my day-to-day is pretty. I love a good sunglass. Like, I'm obsessed with Beta sunglasses. They're bright and colorful. But I feel like my day-to-day is fairly not that exciting.
What are you wearing today?
Today I'm wearing like Levi's overalls. I think they're like in an extra large, and just a gray t-shirt, long sleeve t-shirt. I'm wearing Gucci like cowboy-esque boots that I bought on eBay. A trench coat, a purse that my mother-in-law bought me from I don't know where, but it's really cute and I use it every day. It has a beaded bird on it. It's like just random. I'm all over the place.
And jewelry?
Jewelry, I have my engagement ring, which was designed by Lizzie Mandler and Elisa Teichman. My Spinelli dupe, which I probably shouldn't say, but it's from Etsy and it's not real. A ring for my grandma. I have a little like I don't even know what it's called. It's like a little Trinity gold, silver, rose gold ring. A sapphire ring that my mom got me when I was born because it's my birthstone. I have another ring from my grandma. A real fine pinky ring that I got for my birthday. A Maggieville Maria bracelets. a watch. I don't know.
And some of your pieces are on your
Some
neck?
of my pieces, yeah. I have our Sally piece, which is a hand knotted smoky quartz on pink thread necklace with a flower carabiner. And then I have our Tony with our new gemstone mini, like micro mini gemstone carabiners that are going to launch next month. And I feel like I always have 15 earrings in, most of which from Wild. Shout out Elisa. Yep.
If you ever need the most fun piercing anywhere in Dallas or in New York,
Yes.
we love Elisa and we love the Wild Lake. Tell us about the carabiner. Where did that come from, and what is the significance of that as a design element?
Yeah, so when I was initially making the custom one-off pieces for whoever wanted one, I was sourcing a lot from like dead stock, from vintage stuff, from Etsy, and I found one that was neon yellow, and I made it into what's now our Benny necklace. And I think I found 4 of them, and that's the ones that started to sell really well. And then after those started selling well, I found a manufacturer in Miami, and I was like, hey, here's a picture of what I have. Can you make these? And that was just through like research. Can you make these in different colors? Like, I want a pink, I want a purple, I want like what other colors? A light blue. And that's the pieces that really started to take off from that initial like small batch of neon yellow ones that I found on the internet. And then from there is where I really started to get creative with, okay, I liked the idea that you could customize, and that was really like the staple, like the clasp was almost like the staple charm as well. And from there, I started to design different shapes. That's when I was like, let me make this into a flower that can open on both sides, or you could clip it to different things as a charm, and really continuing to build on the different colors that we offer, but also the different shapes and materials, just sticking to that where the clasp is like that recognizable charm and piece.
That seems to be the element that takes it from here is another bead necklace to this is something distinctive.
Yeah, I would say it's the combo for sure.
And do people usually wear it forward?
Yeah, people usually do wear it forward. I say that you could do whatever you want, but most people, like I wear it forward, and I do see most people wearing it forward.
I think that's one of the unique things. Most jewelry is hard to brand, and it's been really difficult for people over time to create things that are really distinctive because unlike a handbag or other items of fashion, it's much more difficult to stick a logo on it.
Yeah.
And so that's why it's pretty easy to knock something off, because there isn't anything that's that distinctive, and that's taken that role for you.
Yeah, I would say for sure. And I think that, like, to your point about being easy to knock something off, like, we definitely see that too. It's not like we're like immune to that, because like at the end of the day, like, jewelry is jewelry. I don't think anything is truly like absolutely 100% unique, but I feel like that's where I like to continue to create new things that, okay, what am I not seeing that's fun, and really continuing to build on both our core, that carabiner with the beaded necklace, and then dreaming and brainstorming about, okay, what's next, to not necessarily fall into just being one thing, because I am a more creative person, so like I like doing that side of running this anyway.
Have you seen things that look like they're eerily inspired by your pieces showing up on Temu or in any of the less savory channels of the world?
Yeah, that doesn't really bother me, though. I think if you're going to buy it on Temu, you're not going to buy it. Like, it's fine.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's almost validation more than it is anything else. Somebody went to the trouble to knock you off.
It's not going to be the same. Like, as long as like people are seeing the Temu or like whoever else puts it out, it's like that's the Spicy Dan dupe or that's the Spicy Dan knockoff. Like, I'm okay with it. You're aspiring to be us, so that's pretty cool. I don't know. That doesn't, there are situations that have bothered me, but generally that doesn't really bother me that much.
Do you remember the first time you were wandering around and you saw somebody you didn't know wearing one of your pieces?
First time? Honestly, no. I feel like one of the most exciting ones was I was on a plane, and it was like the worst flight ever. And like we got diverted, and like we were sitting on the plane forever, and then like it was awful. But when we got up, like finally got to our destination, like the girl in front of me turned to go get her bag, and I saw that she was wearing a necklace, and I was like, oh my God, all of that doesn't matter. This is the best day ever. This is the coolest thing ever. And she'd gotten it from her friend as a gift, and I was like, yes.
Those are the things that allow you to soldier on when, there's a stack of paperwork to do.
Yeah.
That
For
buys
sure.
you 3 months worth of joy for each one of those hits.
No, definitely.
Are there other things? Well, one of the things that I like to ask everybody who comes on is if there are other brands or designers or magazines, things that you think deserve more attention than they receive.
I would say Veda Eyewear. I am like their biggest fan. I think I'm so creepy. I DM them all the time. They're like obsessed with their sunglasses. They're so cool. They're based in Austin. There's a new jewelry brand called Created by Alice Marquez that she reached out to me. She makes really fun beads and charms and like collar necklaces, and we're actually doing a collab this summer, which I'm really excited about. It's like our first like jewelry collab, so that will be very fun. It's not like new, but I love Muir and Crosby boots, like something like I think they're so fun with their patterns, and like they have ones with like feathers, and like I love that.
That's also one where someone has taken something that can be pretty bog standard and undifferentiated, and they have managed to make it something unique.
Yes, 100%.
Why and how?
I have no idea.
For those who don't know, Meyer and Crosby is a boot brand that I think is based in Dallas.
Yeah, they're based in Dallas.
Two sisters who create some of the coolest cowboy boots, and nobody else's boots look like that. There are lots of people who make boots.
No,
and these are like fashion boots, but they're not European fashion boots. They're very much Texas fashion boots.
They're very Texas. They have such fun. Like the ones that I have, like moons and stars on them. They're like a white leather. They're very recognizable. I think like they're also very expensive, and I think similarly it's just like very cool but very unique and very aspirational in that way, where I think they have all three going for them.
Danielle, thank you. People want to find you. You can shop Spicy Dan on At Present. You are where else on the World Wide Webs?
We're everywhere.
Yeah.
We're on We're big on Instagram. We do a little bit on TikTok. Follow us on both places if you want more of the Spicy Dan universe.
And coming soon, earrings. Yes. And what else?
Earrings are coming soon. We have like gemstone hardware. So like instead of enamel, we're working with some pave gemstones, which are really fun. We have our shapes, which are fairly new, and we're going to just be trying the shapes on new different things, which I'm excited about.
Is your shapes for carabiners?
Yeah, like the flower that I'm wearing today, which is I love, and I don't think I've done a good enough job showing the world. What else? I think, yeah, chains, mini gemstones, earrings, new shapes, hand-knotted stuff, more of that, all of those things.
Cool. Keep dreaming. Thank you for sharing all of it with us. Thank you for being a part of the At Present world. We are delighted to work with you. We are delighted to share your story, and we're so happy that our customers love what it is that you're doing.
Thank you. We're so happy to work together.
That's it for this episode of The Materialist. If you like what you heard, please like, rate, and subscribe to The Materialist wherever you get your podcasts. The Materialist is a presentation of At Present, matchmaker to extraordinary jewelry. We'll see you next time.